Hello friends, I am Ganesh Kekan. In this video, we will solve one problem on projections of line. Let us read out the problem statement. A line BC 80 mm long is in first quadrant. Okay, so length of line is how much? True length is 80 mm. You see, with end B is in HP. Point B is there in HP. Okay, and end C is in VP. So point C is there in VP. Okay, the line is inclined at 30 degree to HP and 45 degree to VP. Okay, so theta, inclination of line with HP is 30 degree, inclination of line with VP is 45 degree. Draw the projections. Now to solve any line problem, we know how many parameters we need. 5 parameters has to be there when line is inclined to both HP and VP. So what we will do, first of all, we will use given data. Okay, we will have one horizontal line, ortho mode should be on, so we will have this horizontal line. Okay, this is xy line. What is given? See, point B is there in HP, line is BC na. Okay, so point B is there in HP. Okay, so this is point B, suppose. Okay, shift at the rate, true length we have, true length can be drawn at an angle of theta. We know whenever true length is there, true length will be drawn at angle theta, and notation will be, this is A dash, this is B1 dash. So in our case line is BC, so it will be B dash and C1 dash. You see, okay. Then true length is how much? Shift at the rate, length of line is how much? 80 mm. Shift less than angle of line is how much? कितना दिया है angle? 30 degree, 30, enter. ठीक है, so you can see. ठीक है, ये point कौन सा है? This point is B dash, which is there on what? It is there on HP. ठीक है, then true length कौन सा है? You see, this thing is true length. ठीक है, और ये जो inclination है, this inclination is what? This inclination is, you see, theta. This inclination is theta. So I will show this thing by this color. ठीक है, on this point, ये point कौन सा है? This point is what? This point is C1 dash, and from this point, this is the end point. From this point, one horizontal line will be passing. ठीक है, ये जो horizontal line है, ये line कौन सा रहेगा? This line is nothing but locus of C dash. You see, this line is locus of, this is locus line. ठीक है, so what we have utilized, true length, this point B and theta. ठीक है, then point C is in VP. ठीक है, तो locus of C क्या है? This xy line is nothing but locus of C, because point C is there in VP. ठीक है, so what we will do, from this point we will draw one vertical line. ठीक है, एक बड़ा सा vertical line खींचेंगे. This line is nothing but projector. ठीक है, it has to be shown by faint line, you see. ठीक है, okay. Then now location of small b is not given. Location of small b is not given. So what we need to do is, we have to assume, because whenever true length is there at angle phi, point A has to be there, otherwise we are not in a position to mark. Okay, so that location has to be taken. So what we will do, okay, at any point on this line, okay, I will draw one horizontal, and ये point को क्या बोलूंगा मैं? This is not final B. ठीक है, so this will be called as B3. This will be called as B3, because this is arbitrary position. This is not the original position. Okay, so I have called this as a B3. Now next task is what? We have true length. ठीक है, we have phi. So whenever we have true length at phi, then we will mark true length at angle phi. ठीक है, तो कैसे मार्क करेंगे? From this point, इस पॉइंट से क्या? शिफ्ट एट द रेट. ठीक है, लेंथ ऑफ लाइन इज 80, shift less than angle of line is how much? Phi is 45 minus 45, because it is clockwise. Okay, so you can see this length is what? This length is true length, and this angle is what? This angle is phi. Okay, now apart from this, you just have a look, is there any data available? ठीक है, ट्रू लेंथ हो गया, पॉइंट बी इज देयर इन एच पी, सी इज इन बी पी, थीटा फाई, एवरीथिंग इज फिनिश्ड. ठीक है, नाउ नेक्स्ट थिंग इज व्हाट, टू फॉलो द प्रोसीजर. Next is, now when true length is there at angle theta, when true length is there at angle theta, what it will give? It will give plan length parallel to xy in top view. ठीक है, so this b1 dash, this c1 dash will give me point c1. You see, I will draw vertical at this location. This is projector. ठीक है, ये जो लेंथ मिलेगा मुझे, this length, ये जो लेंथ होगा, ये क्या मिलेगा मुझे? This length will be called as a plan length. This length will be a plan length, you see. ठीक है, in similar way, in similar way we, now now b3 is there. ठीक है, ये जो end है, ठीक है, this end will be called as, when true length is at angle phi, this end is b2, तो in our case it will be c2. हमारे केस में क्या होगा वो, that point becomes a c2. You see, this point will be called as a point c2, and from this point horizontal line will be passing. From this point horizontal line will be passing. This line will be called as what? Now as this b3 is arbitrary, this is again arbitrary position, तो इसको बोलेंगे c3. This is not original position. Original position they have given where it is there on xy line itself. Okay, so this true length at phi, this true length at phi, true length at phi will give you elevation length parallel to xy. You see, this true length at phi, ये क्या देगा आपको? From this point you draw vertical. ठीक है, so at this location, ठीक है, this is what, this is projector. ठीक है, तो ये आपको क्या देगा? This will give you elevation length. ठीक है, और ये पॉइंट का नाम क्या होगा? This is C2, तो this thing will be called as C2 dash. This point will be called as C2 dash. You see, this thing is a C2 dash. Now see what you have. We have elevation length, we have locus of C dash, we have plan length, we have locus of C3. So what we need to, we need to rotate elevation length and plan length. कैसे? Go for arc, select center. This is what? This is center, this is start point, and this is end point. Okay, so what we can do? We can trim this thing like this. Okay, similarly, take arc, center, this is center, this is start, and you see, कंट्रोल को प्रेस करो. ठीक है, ये यहाँ पे आ जाएगा. एक्सेस को आप क्या कर सकते हो? यू कैन ट्रिम. ठीक है, सो once we have these arcs, once we have these arcs, what these points are, what this point will be C dash. You see, this point will be called as C dash, and ये जो point मिलेगा आपको, इसको क्या बोलेंगे? This will be called as C3 because this is not final one. You see, this is C3. You can see this is C3, and ये जो length मिलेगा आपको, this length is nothing but, ठीक है, ये length क्या है? This length is plan length, and this angle is what you say? This angle is called as beta. This angle is beta. ठीक है, similarly ये जो length रहेगा, this length is what? Length is elevation length, and this angle is called as, you see, this angle is called as alpha. ठीक है, so you see, elevation length is inclined at angle alpha and plan length is inclined at angle beta. ठीक है, so you have to remember this. Let us change colors for this. ठीक है, can change colors. Now this solution is complete. ठीक है, we know this C dash and C will lie on same line always. ठीक है. So let us show it by projectors. This angle I can show it here. ठीक है. So once we have this, ठीक है, so we know C dash and C lie on same line, so we know locus of C is xy line na. So final location of C is where, you see, final location of point C is here. This is final location, and we know on this line B is going to lie. ठीक है. B का हमें length पता चल गया है. This much is the length. We need to measure this length. You see, we need to measure this length. ठीक है. Once we measure this, how much it is? 69.28. So what we will do? We will take a circle. This C point as a center. It is 69.28. Enter. Now this will cut this vertical projector at some point. Okay. So what we will do? We will take a line from this point to this point. We will join the line. Okay. ये जो line रहेगा, that line is what? This line is plan length. You see, this is plan length, and angle for this line is found to be, we know this angle is what? This angle is beta, and this angle is found to be how much? 55 degree. Okay. So where we have actual location of point B, you see, so at this location we have B3, and at this location you'll be having final location of point B. This is final location of point B. You see, I'll delete this. Okay. So in this way, you'll be completing the projection. ठीक है. Now only one thing is remaining, HTVT. ठीक है. तो HTVT कहाँ पे मिलता है? Extend B dash C dash on XY you'll be getting H dash. So where is H dash? At point B dash itself there is H dash. Then at extend BC you'll be getting what? V on this XY. ठीक है. तो where is point V? You see, Control C, Control V. So at point C itself there is point V. Okay. So then you see, from H dash draw vertical on opposite line. Okay. You will be getting point what? H. So you can see at point B itself there is a point H. You see. So this thing is nothing but B comma H. Okay. And H dash H is your HT, and V, this is point V. Point V dash will be where? At point C dash itself. Point V dash will be there. So this is your VV dash. This one. From V to V dash distance, this one. So this thing is your VT. Okay. So from point V, draw vertical on opposite line, you will be getting this thing. Okay. So we know H dash, V dash, C dash, V dash. They lie on same line, inclined at angle alpha, and HPAB they lie on same line, inclined at angle beta. Okay. So at point B itself there is point H. Okay. So this is about the solution for this problem. Okay. So your complete solution will look like this. You see. Okay. In this way it will look. Okay. So this is about solution of this problem. Okay. I hope you have understood the problem. Thank you.